Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I am David, and I am making this video in regards to what the topic that really pops into my head today, and it's really is a problem with today's education, and that is what colleges are actually selling to undergraduate students. And this is mainly with undergraduate. It's not graduate. Graduate tend to have a different type of selling point. And this is kind of a topic that I want to discuss today. I am a academic advisor / coach. I don't have a license, so coach, right? And I have helped a lot of people get into college. I have been to many colleges, gotten to many elite institutions such as Johns Hopkins, Rice, Columbia, and a bunch of other state schools for my graduate program, including undergraduate program. And I do know this type of system like the back of my hand. I went personally to 6 different undergraduate school. I got into hundreds of undergraduate school. So this is something that I know a lot, and the reason I went to so many is because I was in the Air Force and I had to move around a lot, and when I came back I did shop a lot for a college that would be best fit for me. So I know a lot about this. I help a lot of people got in. So now let's get into the subject, the topic of what colleges are now selling to undergraduate students. And the reason that I am making this is that education and colleges are not what it used to be. So like I went to college, university in 2012. The amenities, the things that they have, what they have for you, the activities is not as much as now. And at that time, colleges' tuitions were going through the roof as well, but it was nowhere close to where it is now. And that's because students, especially young kids coming out of high school, when they're picking colleges, they're picking it based on experience, right? And that's what the university has to do. And because of these experience that they're selling to these students and what these students are demanding from colleges, created this very unhealthy environment where you have these young students don't know anything about debt, don't know anything about the education system, don't know anything about how to budget or the implication of what things or what would happen to you later in life and the consequence of it. Because they're so young, they tend to pick these type of experience that they would have for 4 years over something that kind of would be more important of why they're actually going to college, and that is to get an education, right? So what am I talking about with experience, right? So a lot of activities, right? Like a lot of like speakers, really high-tech gyms, really high-tech everything, like from ski resources that some colleges have on their campus to shooting range to hiking like field and all these different type of things that they have, other than just sports, because usually sports pay for themselves. So like let's say football events or basketball event tend to pay for themselves because of the tickets. But like, when we talk about like maybe like an all-night like party that they might have, the college might throw all these very expensive guest speakers and all these high costing amenities. So when I went to college in 2012, the gym that I have at Penn State University was extremely simple, right? There's no soap for you in the shower. Showers are very old and no one really used the shower. Some of the gym doesn't even have showers in it. The equipments are very old. The rooms are very small, but it has all the equipments that you need to kind of push, but it kind of feel like a jail cell, right? There's racquetball court. There's no rock climbing wall, so we'll have to go to YMCA. There's no hot tub or a swimming pool or anything like that. Fast forward to this year, which is 2025, I went to visit that old college again, and they updated everything. Everything is cool. They have these huge, gigantic swimming pool with water fountains and hot tub, and they have these gigantic rock climbing wall with a sauna in the back, and all the equipments are very nice. All the bathrooms has very updated showers. They have soap and shampoo, conditioner, hair dryer, everything that you need inside it, it's like a 5-star gym. They're like, it's better than going to an LA Fitness. That's kind of how they have sauna and everything, among like other activities that I didn't have when I was going through college. And when I was looking for school for my sister for law school, and I was showing her these schools, like, oh, look at all these amenities. She's just like, whatever. Like, that's not even that good. And so my sister's 5 years younger than me, so she went to school, colleges 5 years after I did. Right? So at that time, when she went, a lot of amenities were really, really big, and that's when I actually did see in the news and talking to a lot of people, that's when the races between different colleges really begin to give the students a lot of experience over the education. And that's kind of what it is. Young kids, they want to go in to have fun, right? They want to live there. They want to, and they don't really see the consequence of what would come 4 years later, or they know about the consequence, but it's so long from now. 4 years, they're very young. Time goes by really slowly, right? So they want to pick the experience over what would be actually good for them. They go into this massive, massive amount of debt for that experience. And because of all these activities, students the tuitions are shooting through the roofs because these extra activities versus if you go to like a regular community college, right? Like where you just learn, there's no extras things in there. It's a lot cheaper, right? And in my opinion, I think if you want a really nice gym, go pay for a gym membership. Like it's not really expensive. If you're still 18, 19, Planet Fitness is good enough for you. Right? Once you age out of it, you can go to like an LA Fitness, which is still cheaper than paying this much more for a gym membership. If you want to go rock climbing, go to YMCA, and all these different things. But they want to have everything on the same campus, and that's a very good selling point for young kids, and that's the appeal for them, right? So that's what they're trying to sell to kids, and that's what kids are demanding, and that's what a lot of kids are responding to, and that's what really caused this problem. And it's not one person's fault. It's not the college fault or the student fault. It's the markets, right? Where people demand and the market provide, right? And if the school kind of focus more on research and academics, they tend to lose a lot more students, which kind of impact their ranking, their money, all these different things. So they have the incentive to improve and give the students what they want, right? This is why a lot of students go into college and pick such a useless degree, such as, something like English, which is super saturated, something like history, which is just, you can't get a job with that, and like communication, just a sports, it's just like a sports athletes degree. This is what they call it, because it's so easy, it's useless. You come out with it, like you barely have to study to get any type of A in it. So that's kind of what they are doing. They're going in for the experience, not for the education, and that is kind of the problem. Now, because of this, a lot of students are being impacted by it because the academic is being pushed to the side, where now student like in the entry-level classes, they're getting not a professor, they're getting a teacher assistants, TAs, or adjunct professor that goes from one college to another based on their work. So they're not able to get these type of connections that they need at the lower level. They're not getting these like small classes that they need. This is why I'm such an advocate for community college today, because they don't have the same problems that these big universities have, where they're trying to sell experience over education, right? But community college do have other problems as well, like adjunctification and other things, which I have kind of talked about it in the last video, but now big universities have the same problem. Because of this, because of the experience versus academics, right? And the biggest thing is that I just read from Harvard, where Harvard is now, they have faculty from faculty to what is it? Academic administrator ratio. So for every one professor that they have or teaching faculty, they have around over 3 administrator staff, right? So administrator staff, now colleges and universities can't function without administrator, but some of them are very important to basic operation of the university and colleges and everything, and that has to be acknowledged. But and the other part, a lot of them and the big portion of them are for the extra events and activities and other resources that may not be or has been as big, like such as making people feel good, diversity, event planning, all these different things that was not a big thing before, and it also shoot up the event, the tuition of the colleges, because these administrators do get paid really big amount of money, and they're hiring a lot of them over the faculty. So faculties are not getting paid as much as they used to. If you get tenure, that's cool, but most universities now are looking for adjuncts, but they are hiring administrator to be in a tenured position. They're for a permanent staff, but the professors are as an adjunct. So adjunctification, because adjuncts are very cheap. And see, this is kind of the really downfall of the education system. And we can't bring up anything but the oversaturation of people going to college, and they're expecting experience over education. And I think you can kind of think about like what it really mean for the future of education. And I'll talk more about it in other videos, but this is just kind of this for undergraduate level, right? And what is the problem with education today? One of the big problem is the experience over academics. And you have, from conclusion, is that students are demanding experience, and they don't care. They want to go to colleges and have fun, to be free, to experience a very good life away from their parents, right? And they're demanding colleges that provide these things. And and they're a bit of a underhanded way of kind of advertising to parents. So they'll go to colleges, they'll kind of show the students look at all these experiences that you're going to get, right? And then they're going to tell the parent hey, yeah, I just want to go because it's such a good school and blah blah blah. I'm going to be there to learn. And all the parents want you to go is for the education, right? For the resume, so that you can get the skills that you need to get a job. But in the student's mind, they're not focused on that, right? They're focused on the experience, right? If you're a guy, how much girls they can get, and all these type of events that they can go and do and have all these fun. And for girls, it's all about the partying and all these things as well. And it becomes this kind of cycle where the students and the staff are kind of in cahoots because of the market, right? And this is a very big problem today. And I feel for the young kids that's going to school, not getting the education that they need because the education went downhill. And the schools are prioritizing experience over education. And students who are picking school are also picking based on experience, based on education, and it becomes such a big problem now. You don't need a big fancy gym with a water fountain to go into, but that's just kind of what students are demanding. Even when I talk to my little sister, she's not 18 anymore. She's picking a law school, which is a doctorate level class level, and the gym has to be, oh my gosh, it is such a bunch of bull crap. And this is something that needs to be really openly talked about. But I don't know. What do you guys think? What's the solution? How do we fix that, right? I think my solution is to have parents more engaged in this and be like, hey, look, I think you're picking this school based on experience, not education. So, how about that community college or that university down the road that is more prioritizing classroom over these type of fancy swimming pool and rock climbing wall and this spa and whatnot. And I understand the appeal to the young kids because I was 18 once and I would love to have all those experience, but they don't really kind of tell you how much money added on that you're going to have because it's all hidden in tuitions, right? It's all hidden in the tuition. And you kind of just think, oh, okay, whatever, I'm going to this, but they don't really say if they kind of provide this context where, oh, you're going to get all these extra activities and all these guests and comedians and all these different type of activities and hiking trails and blah, 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 blah. But it's going to cost you $5,000 more a month. Then that becomes like, oh, well, wait, actually, $5,000 a month, I can just get a gym membership, right? Kind of thing, right? For $20 a month or something like that. So, yep, what do you guys thoughts? And what do you think? Do you guys agree, disagree with me? Let me know. Leave in the comment below. I also work as an academic coach, /advisor. I can help you guys get into the university of your dream. I can kind of look through it. I have experience in it. I got a lot of people into law school, medical school, undergraduate school, military, and I can talk about that, right? Let me know if you have any question. If you want to have an appointment, comment below. Bye-bye.